Greetings, everyone. Hope all of you are having an absolutely fantastic day. We're back again with Vampire the Masquerade Swansong. So, as many of you know, I am a big fan of Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, which came out back in 2004. None of the news about Bloodlines 2 seems good, so Swansong might be the only RPG game we get in this setting for some time. I thought it'd be nice to comb through all the information we have so far and find out what we can expect from this gaming experience. Information has honestly been rather scarce, and it's completely possible I missed an important detail. If so, please leave a comment down below, and I'll pin the information at the top. Swansong is being developed by Big Bad Wolf Studios, the same group that released The Council in 2018. I have heard good things about the game, but I am only 30 minutes into playing it, so I cannot provide a personal opinion. From what I have seen of that game and Swansong, it seems the developer likes to make slower-paced experiences that focus more on dialogue and detective work as opposed to combat. That doesn't mean things don't get bloody, because they absolutely do, and the protagonists are built to handle danger. Before we dig into the characters, let's do a brief recap of the story. Vampire the Masquerade presents a world where vampires exist, but they are careful to hide their identities from humans. This practice of staying in seclusion is called the Masquerade, and a vampire sect called the Camarilla strictly enforces rules to keep this deception intact. In Swansong, Hazel Iverson has become the new prince of the Boston Camarilla, and she wants to use that power to reinforce the Masquerade. Shortly after her ascension, the Boston Camarilla is attacked in a bloody massacre. Prince Iverson tasked 3 individuals with bringing kindred, as vampires call each other, from nearby regions under her umbrella. These 3 vampires come from different clans, and they all have different perspectives on the Camarilla. Gala Bazori is a member of the Ventru clan. The Ventru see themselves as enforcers of tradition and the true leaders of kindred society. Consequently, they have the largest representation within the Camarilla out of all the vampire clans. Typically, they are high-ranking in the vampire social ladder, and Galeb is no exception. He is 300 years old, has amassed a huge fortune, and is one of the most powerful vampires in Boston. Unfortunately, he sees little meaning in what he's accomplished and is struggling to find purpose in his life. Galeb's signature discipline is Sense the Unseen, which allows him to sense the presence of other kindred or ghouls. This can be very helpful because while you will definitely meet other vampires out in the world, they may be disguised as humans. Dominate lets him force people to do things against their will, including killing themselves. Fortitude obviously allows him to withstand more damage. He also possesses presence, which is a more subtle way to influence people around him. In the tabletop game, presence is widely used and considered socially acceptable by vampires, while dominate is considered heavy-handed and typically only used by very old vampires of high status like Galeb. Laisha is a member of the Malkavian clan. Malkavians are essentially vampire oracles who can perceive things that other clans cannot. The power in their blood drives them insane, and this insanity can manifest in a variety of ways. While Malkavians can sometimes meet or partner with each other, they are only a clan in the loosest sense of the word. They have elders, but there is very little structure or organization. Laisha is over 100 years old, and it's not clear where she stands on the Camarilla. She has a daughter she has attempted to protect, but being drawn into the current vampire conflict threatens to put her in danger. Laisha's signature discipline is Obfuscate, which lets her bend the minds of vampires and humans to conceal herself. Other creatures will see her in uniforms that make her look natural, or they won't be able to see her at all. Auspex gives her a special vision that reveals interactions regarding a specific item. I already mentioned Galeb can penetrate vampiric disguises using his powers. In the tabletop, high levels of Auspex allow you to see through Obfuscate, but it's not clear if that will come into play in this game. Laisha also possesses Dominate. Finally, MM is a member of the Toreador clan. Toreadors are known for being the most beautiful and sensual out of all the vampires. Many of them choose to become musicians, painters, actors, or other professions that let them create beauty while mingling amongst humans. Typically, they are also strong supporters of the Camarilla since the masquerade allows them to blend in much easier. MM is 100 years old and was a jazz musician who was embraced, or turned into a vampire, by the love of her life. While I could not find footage of her disciplines list, it is directly mentioned the ability we see here is celerity, which grants a vampire with supernatural quickness that violates the laws of physics. Based on other footage, it appears she also has auspex and presence. Disciplines are activated using willpower. The more you use disciplines, the more your hunger for blood will increase. This hunger can only be sated with blood, so getting more willpower points does not lower your hunger. You can hunt for blood in secluded areas to sate your hunger. It is possible you get so hungry that you completely lose control, lashing out at a random human and breaking the masquerade. Depending on where you feed on a human, you are able to hide their body. If you don't hide the body well, its discovery is still possible, along with the negative impacts that could have. In addition to disciplines, all three vampires will have attributes and skills. These can be utilized to do things like persuade people, open locked doors, and hack security. If you use a skill while in dialogue with another person, then a dialogue fight will ensue. Your score is compared with the score of the person who you are attempting to convince. If there is a tie, then a dice roll determines who wins the clash of wills. Each character also has traits which are bonuses or penalties you receive based on actions within the game. For example, if you repeatedly get hungry but hold back from attacking a human, you might get a trait that makes it easier for you to resist hunger. Talents increase based on your particular playstyle. Use a lot of rhetoric in conversation, and the rhetorician talent will increase, making it easier to use and level up that skill. If you complete a quest without having hunted anyone, the ascetic talent will increase your maximum hunger. All of these abilities help you in the detective work and confrontation dialogues you will experience in the game. Confrontation dialogues are intense exchanges whose end result can have significant consequences, not only for the character involved, but the other two vampires as well. There are multiple endings to the game, based upon how you resolve the myriad of challenges sprinkled throughout a playthrough. That's all the information I have come across thus far. Again, if there's something I missed, please definitely let me know below, and I'll add it into a pinned post. Vampire the Masquerade Swansong has a style that fits right at home in the World of Darkness setting. The game releases May 19th for Xbox, PlayStation, PC, and Switch. I am really looking forward to getting my hands on the game. Hope all of you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave me a like, share this content, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I will see you all in the next video. Take care.